Alright, what is up? We are going to be doing a replay review of this Disruptor, who is like 2.2k MMR. Crusader 5. Pause 5. This is a RD2L game, so like just a amateur league game. I think this guy's like the lowest MMR on his team, so we'll see what's going on. In the notes you said you wanted to take a look and, you know, kind of have a, like, lane more consistently, I guess, and then like be confident in telling your team like how to make moves like later in the game. So I feel like I can give you a pretty good idea of how to do that. We'll take a look at what we see. So you're with Jug, and you're probably against LC. Nyx? Probably LC Nyx. If they like counter your hero, like if they pick LC to counter Disruptor, I don't think it's good to like go all in on this like Mango Thunderstrike, because like they literally used a pick to counter what you're gonna try and do. So then, like, you know, you're just not gonna be able to do it. So when that happens, like, you kind of just need to adjust your play. Like, I think a Wand would be really good, because Wand is just going to be good anyways against LC Nyx. Or like Stick, I mean, starting Stick. Like, sure, get a Mango, but like, don't go all in on this Q, because like, he's just going to be purging it, you know? Like, look to right-click harass, look to play for pulls and block pulls. You know, get more points in your other abilities early. You can still go this level 1, like kind of force him to take his W level 1. I guess we'll see if he does that, but like, this is like the normal Disruptor items, and like I just don't think you're going to be able to play the normal way given that they drafted to counter you. So it'd be good to like adjust kind of what you're doing based on that. It's nice. So you're paying to back up your Jug a little bit more there, but that's okay. I would just use my mana here. Like, you're happy to trade with this guy. Like, if you just Q him and then right click him, I think you're happy with that. Like, you running away here, I think concedes a lot. I mean, Nyx trades pretty bad. Okay, he's 50 damage, 4 armor. You're 53 damage, 2 armor, and you have more HP than he does. So like, plus you're a ranged hero, so like he has to like either overcommit on you or like not commit as hard because you're gonna be hitting him as he's like running away. So I think you just take that trade there. It's kind of like a lack of understanding of what you can get away with. Okay, so you cancel the clarity and force him to pop his W. I think that's okay. Like, it's like wasted, but given what happened, I think it's okay. So you don't look to block their pull. It's probably not a huge deal this early on if they have a pull. Like, you and Jug can like kind of go contest. Yeah, he is just purging off your damage, which is kind of why I said you don't want to go super all in on this. Unless, I mean, I guess your goal is to like run him out of mana. We'll see how it ends up working out. I feel like you can kind of do the same thing without like committing the 3 mangoes though, if you know what I mean. So you're just playing in the lane only. Okay, they baited the W and then you used your Q, that's nice. What's the situation with your Jug and the Tangos? He's still got some, okay. Too bad. Okay, so here you've got an opportunity. The Nyx is completely out of the lane for possibly like as much as like 20 seconds. So you've got to figure out what the smartest thing to do is. Like, what can you do that you couldn't do because Nyx wasn't here? I think you could have stacked the small camp and then pulled. It would have been really nice. Like, right right? He gets away. You have time here. If you walk straight to the small camp and stack, and then pull at 315, you can kind of do this completely for free, and they just can't contest you. Assuming it's not blocked. I don't think it's blocked because he was just body blocking earlier. So I think it spawned at 2, and then I think you could have stacked at 3. So you just kind of don't do anything with this advantage. Yes, you go pull small here. This is just going to be less ideal, because you could just deny this whole wave to them with where the lane is now, and that would be awesome for you guys. So just kind of a missed opportunity there. So you just got to think, like, what would I really like to do, you know? And look at it's like looking at the clock, thinking about like what the highest impact thing you could do is, and then executing quickly as soon as like the play is over. And yeah, putting 2 points in your queue, it's like, I think it's kind of bad because they have an LC, right? You're just playing into like what they countered, versus like if you get a point in glimpse, that's got a lot of utility. Maybe if you guys do get a kill or they TP back into lane, you can like get a good glimpse and send them back. I just don't think leveling up your Q is like gonna... What's gonna happen here? Like, you can't even cast it, right? You were like waiting to cast, then you did cast, and then you countered it. Like, you know, that's not good. Jug is kind of crazy. You could have fed him a tango, but if he's gonna do this anyways, then I guess it doesn't matter. So you do have a stick now, which I think is reasonable. So yeah, they kill the Jug, plus you guys have a huge wave, so there's not a whole lot you can do here. I would have just left that creep for Jug instead of taking it. Could have just like let it attack you and kind of hold it there. It's not going to pull the lane equilibrium back, but
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Let's just bump.
have an unfortunate rotation there.
You thought you had me, didn't you?
Yeah, I think you're committed a little bit too hard here, because you had to like see, or hopefully Jug could have said like, hey, Legion's coming over. Then you just get yourself in a really good spot. Also, if you have Glimpse here, you can just Glimpse this LC.
Radiant's bottom tower
Get a return kill. You were very low leveled because you haven't really been able to get any pulls off.
Zeus, great weatherman himself.
This guy's like all in on stopping you guys pulling, but you punish him, okay. Would have been nice to get a stack in there. It's kind of an interesting walk mid. You look a little lost to me. So maybe we can like kind of break down what you should be like thinking about. So you try and pull, which I think is good. Then you kill this guy. And there's nothing to pull or anything. There's nothing to do. But I think is why you walk mid. Because like from your perspective, there's not a whole lot to do right now. But your situation being level 4 is such that you cannot effectively like do anything anyways, besides like pull. You were looking to pull, now you can't. So in these situations where you're like, okay, what do I do for like 45 seconds as a support? It's really important to like just consider like what you offer and like also the game timer. There's not a whole lot going on. And also like, you know, what can you do when those 45 seconds are over? Like right, because you could pull at 9:15, but like you don't want to stand here until 9:15 to then pull, right? So I think what you should do is I think you should just stack, because you have to consider like, do you still want to be top? Because you go mid here, right? And it's like, why do you go mid? Are you helping this Pango do anything? I don't think so. Like, wouldn't you kind of still like to be top and pulling? Like, I feel like you would. Like, you can't right now because the camp's not there. I guess this camp's not here either, because you could kind of pull hard sometimes, but I don't think this camp is here. But you still want to kind of be doing that, because Disruptor is a very level dependent support. This hero without levels is so bad. Like some heroes just, like some supports don't need levels, and this hero does. So what you should do here is you just stack. Stack, grab the bounty, unless your Pango's gonna want it, and then go back to your lane and pull at 9:15. That's what you should do here. And then you're like continuing this. You can even try and chain pull if this camp respawns, depending on where like the Nyx goes. Because you just have to realize that your impact on the map is so low doing anything else. Like one of the things I talked about, I actually didn't like phrase it this way, but in my Winter Wyvern and Undying videos, where I like kind of talk about how you want to play your hero specifically, Disruptors, like, how do you want to play Disruptor specifically? Well, you want to get levels and then do something. Kind of like Warlock almost. Like, you don't do a whole lot until you have 6. Disruptor's like the same way. So you just need to want to get levels somewhere. So I think a stack would have been good. I think you're just not paying attention here. Like, look at the timer and stack. There's no reason to not get a double stack off here, even if you do go mid after. So not stacking is pretty bad, because you have a Jug who can spin it down, and a Pango is happy to like use spells to take it. And then you go mid, and what I thought you were doing is I was like, is he like trying to sap XP mid lane? Because if that's what you were trying to do, that's like sort of reasonable. But like, given that your Pango is like here and shoved it in, there's no XP to sap. Because so I don't, if that's what you were trying to do, didn't really work out. I have a feeling that's not what you were trying to do. I think you just kind of wandered mid, and now you're here, and there's nothing to do. But like, you weren't planning on doing something when you got here. You were just looking for something else to do. Like, that's really what it seems like to me. And this is, so the problem here is that you just didn't know what you should be doing, and you should be getting levels however possible. So like, pulling here at 9:15 would have been really nice. Getting these stacks would have been really nice. Just because you had nothing better to do. And if you want to like, what would have been nice is if you had stacked and then pulled, and then like either Jug doesn't come back to lane or he does, and maybe like you rotate mid and ask your Pango if you can have the lane for a little while to get 6. Because now Pango's coming back. Because like if Pango didn't come back here, you would be sapping XP, which would be kind of reasonable. But like Pango's here. So like sharing the lane with a core is not really like how you want to be getting XP. It's kind of a slow way to do it. And then you're showing 2 heroes on the same place at the same time for no reason. And then you kind of like TP react to top here. Which I guess all things considered is like sort of reasonable. But it still just feels kind of bad because your hero doesn't do anything. I mean, I'm like exaggerating a little bit, but like your just effectiveness is so low. This is a play. Nice of Dawnbreaker to feed. So you're still not 6. It's 10:40, and you're not getting the tome. So you need to get 6. Like, you desperately need to get 6. I would like you to have pulled here to like just farm this camp, because you don't have a TP. You can't like go mid, or like be mid right now, I mean. So it looks like you're just gonna walk mid with your Pango. Again, you could stack. Oh, your mic is stack on accident. Sweet, you stacked on accident. That was awesome. So what you need to do here is you need to tell your teammates to fuck off. It seems weird because you're like the 5, right? And like you're like, why would I not let my cores like farm this? And it's because you need XP. Like you need them to not be here so that you can get 6. That's the only way your hero functions. Like splitting this XP like 3 ways or whatever, or like walking away is just trash. And this is like not a lot of heroes function this way, but there's certain supports where you just have to like tell your team to like leave and let you like solo farm a lane for a little while. And since you're like the lowest MMR on your team, you probably don't feel confident in doing that, but I am officially giving you permission, if this is the situation you're in, to tell your teammates to like fuck off from a lane. And don't like walk across the map to like a lane and then tell them to fuck off, right? Like wherever you are that seems reasonable. Like a lot of times it's a mid, like cleaning up the mid wave would have been fine. Sometimes it's like just sitting top and soaking if your carry doesn't feel safe being there. It just depends on whatever the situation is, but like, or it can be bottom sometimes. Like if your DK's off doing something else, and like, it can be any lane, but you just need to tell your teammates to give you XP. Because you are so useless at 12 minutes into the game with no ultimate. It's just unbelievable how useless you are as a hero in this situation. They are not contesting you guys taking the tower, so that's fine. I mean, pull this, pull it, and farm it. You need to get 6, dude. It's a skill for support players to like get XP and like without like griefing the team or whatever, right? But you need to be like desperate. You need to be desperate for XP right now. Because like what you're doing is like kind of okay in terms of map movement for like your average support who's just kind of following their playmaking cores around and like hanging around the area. Like that's kind of reasonable. Again, you could stack. You're totally missing a bunch of stack timings for no reason. But like you need to have, like you need to be taking this mid XP. You need to have this like instinct to like go get XP. I don't know, so hopefully, obviously you don't know this because that's why you're not doing it, so hopefully from this you can learn that like on some heroes, like you just need to get XP. Like you can't, honestly any hero at this point, if you're 13 minutes, you're still level 5, it doesn't matter what support you are or how XP dependent you are. At this point, you just need to be desperate for XP no matter what hero you're playing, but Disruptor specifically, for the last 4 minutes, you needed to be desperate for XP, and you just haven't been. And these are like, you know, I don't know if it's just like heroes with really high impact ults. Like it's good if you get XP, like Lion, you know, Shaman maybe, you know. But if you're like an Oracle, it's like not, or like even like a Lich, or like a Dazzle. Like it doesn't matter if you're like 5 or 6 that much, you know. So you just have to have a sense of like how badly your hero needs 6, and maybe you're just learning this about Disruptor, Bronze Tier Disruptors, maybe you don't play this hero a ton. But hopefully you kind of sense, hopefully you can understand that going forward and act on it, and that will just like, it doesn't take a long time, right? Like you just need a wave for like a minute, like 2 waves, and you would have been 6. You're finally 6 at 14 minutes. But this will just make you a better support player in your pubs too. If you can just find this, you got to find the XP and you got to be looking for it first and foremost. Like I can tell you're not even looking for it, right? Is it sitting mid for a little while? Is it, you know, telling your team to fuck off from mid if like you're actually there and like they're around you but you like really need it? It's like doing these weird pulls even with a dead tower just to like kill the creeps. It's like doing this pull after the fight just so you can get the XP. Like all of these little things like add up to get you 6. Like even if you don't get the tome, maybe you get it at like 11 minutes instead of 14. And it's just really impactful. So hopefully you can learn from this, that concept, because that's what you're missing here in this early game. So we're kind of at the phase now where this is probably where you're like not sure what to do. I'll stop talking about the XP thing. So you guys take this mid tower. And for whatever reason, you're TPing bottom with this Pango. I don't know if you guys think you can kill this Weaver. Maybe that's what's happening. So at this point forward, you... in an even game, this is an even game, you have to like spread out and farm and then group up and fight around your cooldowns. So you have ult, so you're kind of strong. Your Pango has ult, so he's kind of strong. So you guys could like play together. Granted, I don't think like TPing on top of where a Weaver is like a very effective like play to make. I don't know if you thought this would work or what. But otherwise, you kind of want to be sitting behind your hero, your playmaking heroes, and like be ready to use your spells. And that's kind of it. So there you were. That was a little unfortunate. I don't think we had any way to know those guys were coming there. Very interesting place for them to be. Yeah, they probably had vision of you. I can't blame you too much for dying here. Let's see what happens on respawn. I think TPing with Pango here in the first place didn't really make sense to me. Like, you could have just walked down here. If you wanted to like go with him, like you're paying it. Somebody should have TP'd to farm it, right? But then your goal should be to like push it out all the way and have your team like come connect down maybe if you're ready to fight. Maybe you're not because you didn't really have mana. Omni Slash wasn't up, now it is. All right, let's see what you do now that you're like alive again. That's kind of how that works. You don't really set up on Weaver very well. So you respawn, your DK's coming bottom. Yeah, this is a little tough because you guys don't really kill this Weaver that well. So I wouldn't be looking to like how you kill this Weaver is like your DK blink stunning and then you like ult kinetic fielding on top of him. Like that's how you guys kill the Weaver. So if that's not what's happening, like, you know, kind of going for that is like kind of weird, I think. Granted, I think it's weird that they like come fight you guys here. I guess they can though, because they're really ahead and they're just playing around their like Nyx Weaver, being really mobile. I'm like trying to decide what you guys as a team should have done leading up to this. You kind of have reset, but you guys kind of like made this weird move on this Weaver alone. Like if you want to like do something down here, I think you just need to wait until your team's ready. Like your Zeus needs to like get closer, and then when he is, then you can start to do something, and then Jug can TP in if it like looks good, right? But like you're kind of just starting this. Not like you. I mean, your DK kind of got caught, but you guys were like kind of down here, like trying to fight this Weaver off, without a lot of information and without your whole team being ready. And like if your whole team's not doing something in these RD2L games, or like at least 4 heroes, chances are like that's kind of it's kind of the weakness of like RD2L like teams. It's like sometimes they like group up as 5 too much, but you kind of need to have like heroes before you like do like a low information play like that. TK's dying top. Kind of like what you're doing, like just pushing out this area. What is happening? Did you die? You TP base? I'm gonna assume this is like a mistake. Did you mean to TP to like the tier 2 top? I'm not really sure. Cause like I would be hanging around here kind of like what you were doing, and like if you find somebody, maybe you and Jug can like kill them depending on who it is. But or if you're gonna TP to your team to like defend this tower, then I think you would want to TP there. A weird TP from you. Kind of just not with your team. Okay, nice play on the Lina, on the overextension, that's cool. Nice, okay. Also, classic of RD2L, just throwing. So you guys want to fight.
The Roche pit, I see you doing it.
You courier out to D ward, even though you have kinetic field and you have a Zeus. So it looks like you guys are like fighting in the Roshan area now. I think a good at. So your team is going on the Lina and doesn't get her. Let's see. Yeah, that's a little unfortunate because like I was like, well, if you're gonna be doing this, you should have your team with you. But I see they were going on Lina and it didn't really work out. It's just like some kind of discombobulation. It's unfortunate. Let's go back again. So like, what do you guys really want to do right now? Like conceptually, game plan wise. It's like maybe it's contest Roshan. So if that's what you want to do, you need to wait for your abilities to be ready. It's about 20 to 49 seconds from now. Try not to fight until then, and then cohesively fight together. Like going for these plays, like you guys are getting out farmed right now. Like they're in 3 lanes. Their Weaver's bottom, their Lina's top. They're farming mid, and then presumably they got like an LC jungling or something, or looking for pick off. I don't know. So like you're not really happy with the situation. I get that, but like to adjust the situation, you need to do it around like, you know, when your heroes are strong, and like make it coordinated. So I think you guys kind of just need to wait. Like, I don't think this... Like, going for this pick off top is fine, but you and Panko need to be chilling. Like, one of you can, like, walk over here and D-push this. And, like, this play, either it works or it doesn't, but, like, it's not a full committal to a fight because you're still waiting for your abilities to come up. Like, that's kind of what should be happening here. And then when all your abilities are up, and ideally you've pushed this out so it's not like this, at least. Like, ideally it's at least here. Then you like group up and go for like a smoke. And like it's important to like just wait if you guys aren't ready. Like I think in RD2L it kind of feels like, oh, we have to do something right now, but like that just leads to really inefficient map movements and like these rushed plays that like don't work out. So if you just like kind of wait, you know, in pro games, like they don't force things to happen before it's ready. Like they do like wait. You don't really, you know, if you watch pro game highlights, you never notice because they just skip from fight to fight to fight. But like they wait for their abilities to be ready. They like kind of clean up their waves and then they do something together as a team. And then these 5-on-5s happen because both teams are really good at doing that.
Radiant structures are fortified.
So your Jug TP bottom to clean it up. You go Glimmer. I think Glimmer's kind of trash here. No offense. Like, all of these heroes just kind of blow you up. Glimmer or no Glimmer. For the most part. Like, if you wanted a defensive item, I mean, like, Aeon Disc is, like, your option, I feel like, this game. Or like a blink so that you can like be like way back and not get caught, and then like blink ulti if you need to like catch the Weaver or something. But I don't feel like this Glimmer is going to be super impactful just based on their lineup. You're heading Ags next, which is always just really nice. Even Aether could be better than Glimmer just because it keeps you further away, although Aether's not going to save you from like a Nyx or Shadowblade Lina finding you. So I feel like Aeon kind of be your play here. And if you wanted to like get an item before you just rush like an Aeon Disc first item, just get like drums or something, you know? Something that like amps up your team a little bit. That's what I would be thinking item-wise.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
So, hold on, how did you get down here? So you just ran down here? You TP'd your tier 2? Yeah, so you just need to walk out of base here. Like, nothing's happening. You don't have your ult up anyways. Like, nothing's happening. So you can't TP out of base when nothing's happening. So this is just bad TP. And, like, if they were to Rosh right now, like, your team, like, started collapsing there and respawning and TPing the outpost, like, what would you be doing? Fucking no TP bottom for some reason. Like, you're connecting to your jug, but, like... It's like, why? Like, are you guys making a play down here, the two of you? Like, I don't think so. Like, you're either playing for Rosh or your, like, team should be playing for this area. So you kind of just have to, like, make the call for, like, whatever you think is best and then, like, do it in a coordinated way. It's like, here you guys finally make a coordinated play.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
So bottom was kind of pushed out and it's good now. And your team just catches. It was like the same thing with the Lina earlier, except it works instead of it not working, I guess. So you get this nice double kill. So what do you do off this? This is like really important, and a lot of teams mess this up. You guys go straight for the Rosh. They try and contest and get punished. Very nice. And then you finish the Rosh. Okay, sick. It's good. They're still trying to contest. It's really important to have a sentry here. Oh, you guys knocked at the Rosh? Ooh, you guys fucked that up. Granted, your Rosh damage is not particularly good. So this is like kind of indecision, but this Weaver's trying to stop you from Roshing and it's working. So you either need to like go all in to kill the Weaver because you like get this glimpse on him, or you need to like ignore him and not try and kill him and finish the Roshan, which is like going kind of slow. I don't know why your jug is spinning. I guess he has shard, that's why he's spinning. Instead, you do this half of one, half of the other, and then you guys aren't backing up your DK. Oh, counter throw. Yeah, and I would have thought you could have Rosh there. Like, I don't mind that you walked in there, and then it kind of turns out that you couldn't. But like if they're gonna try and stop you, you have to like either commit to the fight or like commit to like the Rosh. And neither situation is like fun, but you just have to do one or the other. You can't kind of do both.
Are scanning.
So they didn't take the Rosh? Did they take it? Nobody's taken it still.
Middle tower is under attack.
So your whole team needs to be down here. The fact that nobody's taken Rosh and your DK went bottom is a total grief. So like you guys need to be like on the same page of like, guys, they're not finishing the Rosh. Let's go fight again. Like, you have to. You have to. Nobody can go bottom right now. It's actually so bad that this DKTP's bottom. And so you need to be, like, calling this out, right? And you're, like... Your team's 5 is a lot of the time this person who's calling the shots or whatever, or you just wanted to be better at this. Like, you need to be like, guys, come back to Roshan. We still need to contest the Roshan. Like, get this ward up, which you do, but, like, you need to be communicating. This is the only thing that matters on the map right now. It's the only thing that matters. The fact that they haven't finished it means that you guys can try it again. You have all your ults except for roll. You're actually really strong. So like if you guys are just TPing in here and like smoke and then like, go fight them under your high ground ward here, like that's what you need to be doing. So you guys are just not focused on the objective that matters, which is Roshan. It's kind of crazy to me that you're not like focused on this objective. Like, what is your DK doing? What is the other team doing? I don't know what the other team's doing either. Like neither of you teams are like focused enough on the Roshan. And now you like finally get in here, but like the other team could have just been doing it. Or you could have just done this play sooner in a more coordinated manner. Like going for the pick off or whatever. You got lucky, basically, that you, like, picked them off. Because they were, like, playing really badly and not... They weren't doing what they should have been doing either. So you got really lucky there, honestly. Okay, really nice find on the Weaver under the ward. What do you guys do here?
Radiant's top tower is under Dire's middle tower.
Taking a tier 1 top? So somebody on your team needs to be cutting mid right now. Right now. Somebody on your team needs to go mid. It shouldn't really be you, because you're not that great of a lane pusher. You're, like, okay. But, like, Pango, Zeus, Jug, even DK, somebody needs to go mid right now. They have to. Like, nobody wants to go up here, although somebody could. You have 70 seconds of, like, a ton of control, and you still have really good map vision. So you need to have a clear game plan right now that, of, like, what the correct way to play the map is here. So the correct way to play the map in this situation where you've got an Aegis, you're really strong, and they've got a dead core, is you need to get complete control over 2 out of 3 lanes. One of them has to be mid, like you can't control bottom and top. Like it's either mid or top, or bottom or mid. And that means getting this all the way pushed in, and then getting this all the way pushed in. And like, yes, you can take this tower, but like it doesn't need to happen right this second. And then you sit in their triangle under this ward, cutting both of these waves, and then you can take whichever tower you want as a team while keeping the other wave cut. And then all the enemy has is this. Like that's the only thing they can play for is down here, and if they walk up into you, they die. So somebody has to like TP mid right now. Somebody could even TP bottom. Usually you wouldn't want to separate that much while you're occupying their triangle, but given that their carry just died, you kind of have this liberty. You literally all have TPs up, right? Jug has TP. Jug doesn't have a TP, is 5. But like if Zeus is low mana, also doesn't quite have a TP up. But if like Pango TP's mid and DK TP's top, and you guys just shove it in and then reconnect, and like you and Jug and Zeus kind of like hang out here and you just farm. You can cut and then you can cut like while your team's like up here, like if you want you can cut the next waves from the triangle, and then like you've reconnected the triangle, and then you like keep both of these waves pushed in, push one of the towers while like somebody keeps the other wave pushed in ideally, or you know if they're trying to fight you, then you can all be as 5 to like get the tower and take a fight. That's what you need to be doing in this situation. Anything else is just completely suboptimal because it's going to result in like no map control. So what happens instead is you focus this tower down, which is like you kind of want to have this tower, but you like it, you don't need it right this second. So nobody's pushing out top, nobody's pushing out mid, and they've pushed in bottom all the way. So your lanes are shit because nobody's doing lane control on your team. Now you guys finally TP, but look at this Alina. What happened to Alina? Oh, the creepy was TPing to died. Okay. Well, he kind of fucked up. If this Alina had, like, not fucked up here, or just TP'd this or something, and been pushing out top, you guys would just be getting the complete runaround while they're dead and you have Aegis. Like, if you have Aegis, do you really want to be chasing them around, like, reacting to the plays they're doing? Like, okay, you killed the Nyx, but it's like, who cares? Like, their Weaver's, like, completely respawned now, and your lanes are still shit. Yeah, the Lina stays bottom. So this is just you guys, like, not having any, like, lane control at all. Like, nobody's prioritizing the lane control in these situations where, like, you're strong enough to, like, be controlling 2 out of the 3 lanes. And instead, their Lina gets a bottom tier 2. They're pushing top tier 2. And this all stems back from when you guys kill that Weaver in the triangle, nobody went to go manage the lanes. Like, all of you need to be thinking about managing the lanes. But, like, you're all low MR players, so, like, you're not. But, like, that was all that mattered, was managing your lanes there. And then you didn't. So, like, if you just go look at any high MMR, like, game, it doesn't even have to be a pro game, just, like, a high MMR pub, and, like, watch what happens when, like, the Dire team takes Roshan. Like, just go watch. And, like, you'll see they do exactly what I said. And like I said, it can be either one. Like if possible, you'd love to be in their triangle and cut top and mid and ignore bottom. That would be nice. If possible, if you have a really mobile hero or like a bots hero, they can even go bottom. You can control all 3 lanes. Temporarily, you have to kind of go bottom, push it out, and then rejoin your team fairly quickly. But they control 2 lanes, and they keep them cut, and then they like take the tier 2s. And then you can like sweep across the map this way after you've done that, right? You control this, you control the lanes, you take the tier 2s, and then like one hero after you've done that, like TP's top and like starts pushing it out, and the rest of you like smoke as 4 into the enemy jungle, which is the only place they can be. And then you can like go back to their triangle, and then you've completely corralled them in their map at that point, and you have control of all 3 lanes. And then you can do whatever the fuck you want. You can push, you can farm, wait, and the enemy usually will mess up in the course of this. So that's kind of the game plan that you guys need to have in that situation. And we've already talked about, like kind of earlier, what you guys should be looking to do, like coordinated plays around your timings and your cooldowns. So yeah, hopefully this was helpful. I'm going to cut it here. Thanks for signing up.